rub against each other. You're going to bump against each other. You're going to know each other. Maybe by yourself you think, I'm the most patient person. But if someone touches you, oh, you turn into a lion. Correct or no? Maybe you see that one is very grouchy, but he's going around helping everyone. If you are not in a Jamaat like this, you will never know your worth. Because by yourself you think you're the best. Or in today's world, by yourself, this is Akhir Zaman curse. By yourself you think you're the worst. Not for the sake of Allah, you're the worst for the sake of the dunya. That's the time, just by sitting by yourself, you fall into a depression, you'll kill yourself. Nothing is happening, you have everything. But just to think, because the worth is not Allah, the worth is the dunya, you feel so low, dunya poke you a little bit, you say, I need to kill myself. How you know your worth? Don't you know even a piece of iron, a lump of iron, just like that, ore, it only has worth when you put it in the fire and it melts, and you take it out and you hit it over and over again. And you put it back into the fire. You take it out and you hit it. You burn it, you put it in the water, you hit it, on and on and on and on. That worthless clump of iron becomes a sword in the hands of a righteous person. And that time, what happens? Once upon a time, Holy Prophet ﷺ, he went to war and he had captives from the mushriks, those who were running to kill him and everyone. He captured them and they were on the ground, they were all, hands are tied, and he's looking at them and he's smiling and he's smiling and he's smiling and he's smiling, and they're saying to each other, don't you see? What kind of a prophet is this? They're saying. He's happy that we are his prisoners. Prophet says, yes, I'm happy, because don't you know, where I'm going, even my prisoners are going. You understanding that? The ability now to stand up for haqq, as Hazrat Ali did. The ability to separate what is haqq and what is not. Not to do it because you hate, but stand up for haqq. Prophet ﷺ never did anything with anger or with hate, never. Even his uncles that was running to destroy him, to kill him, he came to them over and over and over again. He never stopped, he never gave up. He never gave up. In the Sunni tradition, we don't even recite the surahs that is speaking about the Prophet's uncles in a bad light. Allah saying, Abu Lahab, father of the fire. Out of adab, out of manners, we don't say. So that is between Allah and His Prophet and the uncles. It's nothing to do with us. We're not now going to sit and say, you understand? This is certain refinement. You love someone. Someone is trying very hard. This one may be an evil person. Maybe you don't like him, but that you see that one, the one that you love is going after. He's not happy that he's not in the way of truth. He's not happy. Prophet ﷺ, you ever see him happy that his uncles are in the fire? No. So now we shouldn't be. Standing up for haqq, like Hazrat Ali, taking out the sword, defeating that mushrik, about to finish him off, and that one spit in his face. And he stopped. You understand the control? Hazrat Ali, 40 tarikats given to him. 40. You understand the control? He walked away. The mushrik says, finish me off. There is no honor if you don't finish me off. Finish me off. Kill me. Why are you stopping? He says, I stopped because before I was going to do it for Allah's sake. But when you spit at me, my anger came up and I was going to kill you for the sake of my ego. For that reason, I stopped. This is the guiding principle for to what? This is what tariqat is teaching you, that you know what is haq and batil, and you love, but you know it is wrong. You understand? You don't become weak. You know it is wrong, but you don't enjoy it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punishes, correct? Can anyone say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoys punishing? Give me one ayat, one word, one riwayat, one hadith that He enjoys punishing. In fact, when the world was so bad once that the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam lifted up his hands and said, Ya Rabi, I cannot do anything anymore. This is terrible, the situation. He lived over 1,000 years, 900 years. He was giving sohbat to his people. He was telling them, turn away from the dunya, turn away from the wrong ideas, turn away from the wrong things, turn to Allah. Every single day they would beat him up, curse him. He would crawl back home. He would heal and he would go back to speak. They will beat him up again, continuously, hundreds of years. Finally, he opened his hand and says, Ya Rabbi, there is no hope for these ones. Then Allah is saying, because the Prophet opens his hand, Allah has to grant. It says, this world has to be finished, Ya Rabbi. And that is when the flood happened. That out of millions of people in this world, 73 gathered into that ship. Then all the animals coming in, pairs, 73. Then when the rain came from top and from bottom, and that rain is not an ordinary rain, because that is a rain of acid, that only in the Akhir Zaman we're discovering what that punishments of Allah were. The rain of acid. You remember Chernobyl? Those especially coming from Europe, you understand that. It was a big deal in the 80s. The reactors, it exploded. It's not supposed to have exploded. And all the radioactivity went into the air, went into the rain, went into everything, that for hundreds of years, that whole area now is damned, is doomed. This is a punishment. Because it's coming inside, how you say, inside the atoms, inside the cells, and it's destroying from the inside. Doesn't matter whether it is human or metal, inanimate, animate, doesn't matter. Then, when it rises up, it comes down as acid rain, and it's blowing everywhere. Effects are still there. So many times, so many other ones also exploded. Recently, what happened in Japan did also happen. This world is not really a wonderful place. It's not supposed to be like this, but mankind has messed it up completely. So that rain, during the time of Nuh alayhi salam, it was like acid, which is why when the rain subsided, 40 days and 40 nights it rained, and there was laws and rules in that ark, in that ship. They were in seclusion. All the animals and all the men and all the women, they're in seclusion. 40 days and 40 nights, there's a special zikr that they have to make. Everything is very unusual anyway. The whole boat, the whole ship, the whole ark was like a tawiz. Holy words, holy names. Well, anyway, it's a long story. When the rain subsided, after the ship had sailed, and when the waters were rising, and when Nuh alayhi salam was still calling out to people to come into the ship, and especially was pointing out and calling out to his son. He loved his son, but his son was one of the unbelievers, supporting that tyrannical, tyrant, zalim system. He called out to his son, he said, my son, come, the water is going to reach you. He says, no, if I'm here, I'm going to go to higher ground if the rain reaches up to me. And Nuh alayhi salam, the second Adam, the second father of mankind, he was warned by Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you call your son out one more time, meaning if you show favoritism to your son, one more time, because now he's finished calling, You have to sail. If you say it one more time to call him, I will strip prophethood from you. He is your son, but he is our creature. He is your son. You love him, but he is our creature. And Nuh alayhi salam, 40 days and 40 nights, and it sailed. And when it reached to the area of Kaaba, the ship turned 7 times around to make tawaf. And it went. When the rain subsided, then he sent 2 birds out to look for dry land. He sent the dove and the raven. The raven at that time was completely white. It wasn't black. So one of the rules, one of the laws of seclusion is that you cannot eat meat. Okay? Because you take the characteristics of that. Not to say they become vegan. This has nothing to do with health reasons. It has to do with the spirit. You understand? So when the birds, they came out, the raven is seeing so many dead animals everywhere. It couldn't stop itself. It started to eat the meat of these dead animals. And when it came back, it was completely black. And the dove then found some, taking the olive, saying that now it's dry and it's living again. But that water, when he landed into some pool of water, that water touched him. And it touched his legs, the dove, and his legs burned. From that time until now, it's carrying the mark. It is red. And that is an honor. So that prophet warned. And that prophet saying, I cannot do anything anymore to these ones. Why am I telling this story? Why? What was I saying before I entered to this? Huh? Allah, He doesn't enjoy punishing. But He sent that punishment. The whole world now was punished. Then when Nuh alayhi salam, he came out, first time in 40 days he's seeing the sun, and he puts the, what do you call it, surma, the kajal. Huh? Huh? What? Eyeliner. He's putting that there because it helps for the glare of the sun. Anything that is there in the ship, they put everything together, leftover peas and nuts and beans, and they boil it to make the ashura, that we call the ashura. And that happened on the day of Karbala. Of course, that happened on the 10th. So many events happen on the 10th of Muharram. This is one of them. When he came out, speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying, Ya Nuh, I want you to make me 40 clay jars for me. So Nuh alayhi salam saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants me to make him a clay jar, a big vase like that from clay. I'm going to make the best. So he did. He spent so much love, so much time building it. Making it, when he was finished, presenting it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, now Nuh, break all of them. Nuh alayhi salam understood. He broke all of them. And Allah is saying, you feel pain in your heart, Ya Nuh, because you made that clay jar that has no life, but you put so much love in it, and it breaks your heart to break it. Do you think I have no heart, that I'm not feeling sad because I had to destroy humanity? And Nuh alayhi salam started crying and weeping, and some saying that his name Nuh is coming from that because of the sound that he was making. So, Allah doesn't like to punish. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is finding every reason, every excuse to forgive us. Every day, every ayat, every hadith, every holy day, holy night, saying special forgiveness, especially for this nation. Earlier nations, Bani Israel, they only have one day to ask for forgiveness. One day. Out of the whole year, only one day to ask for forgiveness. And even then, they don't ask. They have to ask those ones who are in high spirituality to ask for them. They cannot even approach to Allah, cannot ask Him directly. 70,000 prophets came from them. For this nation, Allah is saying, open your hands and ask, and you will find me forgiving. As the awliya are saying, there is no fire in hell. You bring your own fire to hell. There is no garden in paradise. Paradise is empty. It is what you do here that makes it into a garden. So man has to be responsible. You cannot blame no one. So inshallah Rahman, the heart, you say you break someone's heart, you cannot say that in this Jamaat. Everyone's hearts in reality is in the hands of the Shaykh anyway. Of course, you know if you disappointed someone. Of course, you know if you say I'm going to do this and you don't do it. Of course, that's different. You by yourself, you know you have broken someone's heart or taken someone's rights is one. But that one cannot claim. In this Nakshibendi way, you cannot claim, you broke my heart, you took away my rights. No, don't speak like that. You may claim, I have taken someone's right, I have broken, but you cannot claim this one broke my heart. You understand? If you think you've done that, you do something wrong, run to do something right. You do something wrong, run to do something right. This is not really very simple, because I know so many people, they're so proud. And certain cultures, they're so proud. The whole culture doesn't like to apologize. Sound familiar? The whole culture, hundreds of years, 1,000 years maybe, they never apologize. Never put their head down and say, I'm sorry, even when they're wrong. Correct or no? They are too strong that way. There are some cultures, very easy for them to say, I'm sorry. A little bit, I'm sorry. It can be taken to an extreme also. That's why all the nations, we have to get together to learn from each other, to balance each other off. But you do something wrong, run to do something right. Apologize. There are more ways than one to apologize. Don't just apologize the American way. I'm sorry. In the Islamic way, it's not really necessary to say that so much. It's what you do. You make a mess, clean the mess. Sometimes it's not even necessary to say, I'm sorry, I made a mess. What does it matter? It's still a mess. If you clean it up, that definitely shows you're sorry. Then that's very sincere. But, of course, in this way, as Shaykh Nakshibendi is saying, it is better to break the Kaaba than to break someone's heart. You understand? So you have to be very careful. You have to find a way to reach to that person. Only person who can break hearts is the Shaykh. Don't look like you are. You're not. Don't try to copy also. You cannot. The lion cannot copy from the lion tamer. You understand? The lion tamer is the Shaykh. The lion is the ego. Now, you ever see a lion then taking the hoop and then with that and then telling the lion, go, move. You ever see that? No. They are two completely different ones, correct? Because in this way, you cannot even aspire to become a Shaykh. Don't. Shaykh Efendi said, don't run to the front lines. You will fail. We don't. We don't like it. So, The Shaykh can do that, but he knows what to do. You holding the knife and a surgeon holding the knife is completely different. Butcher holding the knife and the surgeon holding the scalpel is completely different. It's not the same now. But yes, which means run to try to fix each other's hearts. Especially now, it's easy if you meet once a week. Everybody wear nice clothes, nice perfume, taking off, wearing nice turban. Once a week, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, how are you brother? I'm good brother, alhamdulillah, shukur. Women, don't let me get you started. You don't even do that too much anyway. But try doing it every day. Not only the good times, but the bad times too. Not in the summer, in the winter time too. I had a question. Someone is asking how you control yourself, because the weather sometimes it controls you, controls your mood and everything. I said, if you see a pattern, then break that pattern. If you see a pattern, which means that it's a pattern, I know when this happens, this is going to happen. Now in our way we say, before it happens, do this, 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 and this. Don't suddenly it comes up to you, and then you get caught, and you say, I don't know what to do. It's never like that. So, anyway. A family means it goes up and down. Family means you're stuck. Good. A family means that it's not all nice. Sometimes it's not so nice. But you have hope, and every day is a new day. You don't give up. You cannot give up. It is a matter of honor. This kind of family that we're building are the ones that the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, I cannot wait to see my brothers. And the companions saying, are we not your brothers? He says, no, you are my companions. Those brothers that I'm talking about, meaning brothers and sisters, don't now say, oh, how about sisters? Me too. How about sisters? Huh? It says, those are the ones that they have no connection to each other. By family, by blood, by race, by today, socio-economic brackets, let's say, income, but you're coming together and you don't even really like each other, but you love each other for the sake of Allah. It says, those ones, they will be raised on Judgment Day on pillars of light that even the prophets, they're going to look and they're going to admire. You understand the prophets going to look and they're going to admire? Those are the gharib, strangers. They're not relying on their family. They have no family. Some, I know some people, some murids too, okay, they come here, but anytime something happens, I have a nice, big, happy family. I have my grandfather, grandmother, whole system there. There's always plan B, if it doesn't work out. Not the same. So, every time your heart is broken in this way, it is for a reason. Every time your heart is broken, it is to understand and to feel more what Allah and His Prophet feels. Why? Because they feel more than those broken-hearted ones. And then they can pull to help. If your heart is not broken, you cannot feel what that one is feeling. And you don't care. Even if you help, it's not the same. You understand? You stop caring. You can cut a check, you can give them something, but it's more. That's why the Prophet ﷺ is saying, even a smile is charity. Because for some people, they don't need money, they need a smile. Correct or not? Especially in this country, because everyone has, like this or like that. But they just need a smile, meaning a friend, meaning someone there who knows what he's doing for your sake, for Allah's sake, and who's able to just help you. They have no friends in this country. That's why you have to pay money for a therapist to listen to you. Because all of that, what the therapist knows, I'm not knocking that whole knowledge down. There is knowledge, but all that knowledge, when you're properly holding on to Islam, especially to tariqat, and you know the twists and the turns and the bends and the highs and the lows and the tricks and the traps of your ego, you know more than those therapists. And if you go to a certain age, then not only you don't have one, you have 40 therapists, men and 40 women. They've gone through that too. This one will give you an angle that you've never seen before. This one will give an angle that that one doesn't know. He goes on. But you have to live as a jamaat. Because now people in a jamaat, they're not living for themselves. They're living for the common good. There is something I'm trying to. It's difficult, isn't it? Don't you see it's not that easy? Because everyone is very natural in this country. They help. I'm just better to just be with my family. It's so much easier. I don't have to deal with all this. Just a couple of people. This is what they're teaching us. But we're not like that. Not only in our country, in this country is not like that too. For thousands of years, people have lived needing each other, loving each other, taking care from each other. But when you say, I don't need this one, I'm just quiet by myself, that's not how the Sahabis lived. That's not how the Tabi'ins lived. That's not how the dynasties lived. That's not how the Ottomans, they were living. It's not. They cared for each other. The Ottomans cared for the Jews. They cared for the Christians. They cared for the birds. Because when you have a heart, there's no limit to that. You cannot say, my heart is only for Muslims. No. Or my heart only for Jews. Non-Jews, they're animals. I don't have a heart for them. Or you say, my heart is only for humans. No. Once you have a heart, because that heart is the throne of Allah, then it extends to everything. Then you're going to take care of everything. You're going to take care of those ones that are in front of you, those ones who are behind you, the things that is above you, the ground that you're going to walk on, you're going to take care of them. The birds, the animals. You say everything is a creation of Allah. How can I destroy? How can I take advantage? Because Allah, Ya Latif, He is the one who has created that with such beauty and such subtlety. How I can destroy it? How can I destroy it? Where are you going to hear this kind of talk anywhere? On a Mawlid? I'm asking you. It's coming from our Shaykh. We need to put everything together, inshallah. We cannot separate. We cannot come here and just give salawats and go on a high and then go back and we learn nothing about ourselves, become completely selfish and egoistic and angry. Same way. We cannot. The Mawlid must transform you. And it's not by magic. It's not by some karamat is going to transform you. No. If that was the way, it wouldn't take 23 years for the Prophet ﷺ to establish Islam. It wouldn't. He had the power to take the whole mountain of Taif and to turn it upside down because the archangels are his servants. But he didn't. You know why? Most of the time he's thinking about us. Who? Especially his ummah, especially in the Akhir Zaman. How now we're going to function? How are we going to keep our faith? Oh, anyway, this much is enough. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ تَوْفِيقَ الْفَاتِحَةِ